Yeah, they laughed at him.
5 seconds remaining.
All right, who do you favor? Who do you favor?
Kind of favoring MVP Phoenix right now. But we got more important things to talk about. Blitz Dota.
Okay, player with the highest
predictions.
Total magic or pure damage on the heroes by 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Ooh, give me that mid one.
By 10 minutes? I guess there's not a better option.
Dude, all of mine are magic damage. What is this?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's just the game, straight up.
I'm just guessing mid one.
Player with the highest. Okay, that's definitely.
This might be the one where I get 4 for 4.
What? How is it mid one? Every single one.
I'm going
highest net worth by 10 minutes. All mid. All right. Mid one. All in.
I've never seen this kind of category. Like these kind of. That's odd. Normally,
yeah, 10,
it has to be for
25,
time.
and game end.
Yeah, this is odd. All in mid one.
All right, this game is actually rigged.
Guys, I've never been right with more. Actually, I've gone 0 for 4 more times than I've gone any other category. I've never gone 3 out of 4. I've never gotten 4 out of 4. I've never
really. You've never gotten 3 or 4 out of 4.
I think I've only gotten. I think I've only gotten 1s or 0s. So if you actually just ignore me entirely, you probably do a better job.
All right. Well, this is very clearly going to be a biased cast because we're banking all in on mid one, baby.
Give me the mid one. I mean, his name. He's the mid one.
He really is, and he's going to have a contest over the bounty rune here. MVP Phoenix choosing to fight this one out. They are going to go for the stomp. The rage is already out from Mushi. They're going to fight over the bounty rune, and it does end up going over to the other Titan. Now the stun goes down from Forev, while the spin onto Mushi. Looks like that early rage from Mushi may cost him a death, but no, he ends up getting raged up. QO couldn't follow through into the high ground. Takes a little bit of damage from 343, gets stomped up. The space is created, and nobody ends up going down.
1000% sure that MVP should have first blood right now. I don't know what happened, but I feel like Forev should have been able to get the stun onto the lifestealer, which would probably ensure them first blood, but ooh.
Yeah, right. And they missed out on the bottom rim.
Who am I biased to? People are going to say I'm biased to one team. In this game, I will be... I'm feeling...
Choose your bias?
Fnatic, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, we already agreed.
Don't you know, man? Whatever team I'm biased towards, they're going to give me 1% of their price points.
Yeah.
I gotta just lay out my odds every game.
We talked to the players beforehand, and it's really important for them.
Yeah,
that we
when they rewatch the broadcast.
Yeah.
You know, no players watch the broadcast. Like,
yeah, they just always mute.
Yeah,
they were watching Dota TV.
Replay. Okay, so far in the game, nothing much.
There is so many wards here. What the hell?
That's. I'm not sure.
I mean, I'm guessing they just assumed that this counter ward would be countered, the lower one, so they did the tricky one.
No, what they're also doing there is so that you absolutely can't jungle.
Yeah.
You can't pull that late. Because it's very important.
Ohio! Dropping lower and lower, but the team actually maybe Betty who ends up going down. 343 chasing him away. They have the sneaking napalm. Couple more hits. That's all they need. Too many heroes with the sneaking napalm on it, but he gets a stop on both. Bebby, he gets away ever so barely, and Ohio's just left with a sliver of HP too. 40 HP, all that's left. He TP's home.
What did we just watch in this lane?
Ridiculous stuff.
Maybe because he has boots. I think if Ohio predicts that and he moves just half a second sooner, they can do it. But I do favor Fnatic's lineup. I think that MVP might win this game on the process of being a more well put together team, but I do think Fnatic overall have the better lineup, so I'll preface it.
Can you walk through that? Like what exactly really shifts your
I just think the overall hero composition kind of works out in their favor. I feel like this Jug PL gets countered pretty hard by pretty much all of Fnatic's heroes. I think Fnatic's heroes do pretty well against what MVP have. Yeah. The big thing for them is whether or not they can slow down the Slardar enough, because I think Forev will determine a lot of this game. If Forev gets a better timing than the Batrider, then I think MVP can win. But I think Ohio, as a result of this dueling, should be having a somewhat okay laning phase.
I was about to say, if Forev has a good game, right, and he creates enough space, isn't there sort of a back and forth idea between Phantom Lancer and Timbersaw?
Yeah.
Like you have this tanky Timbersaw who puts out a lot of damage in AoE, which is hard for the PL to deal with, but eventually the PL gets tanky enough, and he obviously has the Diffusal Blade that Timbersaw can become rather useless in team fights.
Yeah. But the whole thing is that Timber will Timber's item set just naturally does well against PL. Because I think this is one of the few times where you can advocate going for the Ags on Timber.
Okay.
Because most of the time you just don't like Ags on Timber in general. It feels underwhelming to the hero.
Yeah.
Which sounds odd because it is one of the better Ags upgrades. I know that sounds like it doesn't make sense, but it kind of does, trust.
A lot of Dota based around feel.
Yeah. It's odd. Like I remember when I asked people about the whole Aether Lens on Timber thing, I was like, it doesn't make sense, and they say it just feels good.
You'll hear that a lot from Dota players.
Yeah, they're pretty poor sometimes at explaining like why they feel that way. I remember whenever I ask players about stuff, they just tell me like it's not a math thing, it just feels right. Like overall game flow, because when you play 100 pubs with the same hero, you start to understand some stuff, and in one at top.
Well, Ricky picks up the haste rune, and Mid-1 managed to get the bounty rune. Looks like Fnatic are doing a much superior job controlling the runes for now. Part of this being the Elder Titan not being level 2. Looks like the courier may be picked off. Gotta micro it. Febby there with the stomp, ready to go if 3-4-3 continue to push forward.
Yeah, 3-4-3 has to make a lot of space in this game as well. Yeah. I think the two important heroes for me in this game, though, are Mid-1 and Forev. I think if Forev has a good game, he can just take over. I think if Mid-1 has a good game, he can just own this game.
Right.
Like, as soon as he gets Shivas, Mid-1's game becomes very good.
Well, so far, Mid-1 is having a fantastic time in the mid lane, 30-6 compared to the 15-3 of QO. Was it the Riki having an impact on the mid lane? Like, why is the Juggernaut suffering so badly?
I think Mid-1's just outplaying him in some ways.
Yeah.
And QO's he's just kind of under the threat because he's afraid, but...
Oh, he doesn't have spin, and there it is, the first blood! Mid-1 executes QO in a moment of weakness.
Yeah, that was really sick. He had 34 mana or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is going to be huge right now to Fnatic's chances just because MVP, we talked about it. You can't give this Timber a big game. Like, I think this Timber, in this kind of game though, is just liable to go off and pretty much 1v5 in terms of damage.
Well, they get the dust onto 3-4-3. They will be able to hit the stun on him. Looks like this should be MVP Phoenix's first kill of the game.
Yeah. That's a pretty decent pickup for them, but they would like the bat if they can have it, just because he's level 5.
Yeah.
The Bat Rider's out leveling the safe laner right now. And even though he doesn't have the best CS, still good enough right now. My bigger point of concern right now is the fact that QO's... I mean, there's no way around it. He's just kind of getting crushed. There's Arcane Boots already on this Timber who's going to make his way up to kill Forev, and he should be successful with it too. Yeah,
they hit the stun. DJ slows him down long enough for Mid-1 to come in with the Timber Chain and gets the kill very quickly on Forev, and will TP back to the mid lane, it looks like.
Yep. And this is what we were talking about. It's post-draft. It just feels like Fnatic should be able to do pretty well with this. Yesterday it felt like they were tilting a little bit more than I'm used to them seeing. But today's a new day. Good start.
DJ sacrifices himself to the neutral creep for a free trip back to base. Meanwhile, at the bottom lane, Febby is going to be able to hit the stomp on Ohio, but they're pretty deep in, and they've already got some sticky napalm stacks, so they're not going to try and commit to Ohio, which means he will be able to get this experience, or at least part of it, for the creep wave pushing in. QO drop it a bit low in the mid lane, and he's only got enough mana for a spin here. Got to be careful, especially with 3-4-3 lurking around. He may not have the opportunity to pop a reactive spin if he gets Smoke Cloud.
I think what should happen right now is Mushi hits the armlet timing. They get one ward around here, one ward around here. You invade with the Riki. You bait Ohio to go down. Then you just make a move for the two supports with the Riki through the river. But you probably want to wait for the armlet first. You don't have to wait for Riki's levels, but maybe 2 levels with the Smoke Cloud is good enough to do it. How
do you deal with the Riki Lifestealer combination? Is it just ultra conservative playstyle, a lot of 5-manning, a lot of defensive positioning?
I think you have to kind of just... It sounds really bad, but you sentry everything and you kind of accept that you might lose a hero.
Forev is going to barely get out of that Smoke Cloud ahead of the Purge, and now with the TP in from Febby, looks like they could actually get a kill. Yeah, they're just going to combo down DJ quite easily. Mushi going to have to run through the tower, but it's 3-4-3 who's going to be caught out by QO. 3-4-3 banking on some luck, but Dubu will come in from the side. Much easier with no miss percentage chance on him, claims the kill on Riki.
Yeah. So what I'd like to see Mushi do is rotate down, let the Oracle grab his level 6 at the top lane, and probably make a move by... okay, so 10-minute, 45 seconds. You go place 2 wards right here with the Riki, and you just rotate down and try to kill.
MP in some serious trouble. He's got a doppelganger, but with damage. Okay, Mid-1. There's no trees anywhere, and they got juked out. Oh no, they might still be able to catch up to MP though. They've got the smoke cloud, no doppelganger left, and with the pure damage, they quickly clean through the Phantom Lancer and will be able to establish some dominance of this safe lane of MVP Phoenix's.
I think that he still might have been able to get away, but he stopped for a second to hit the courier. And I think that might have given it up, but that was awesome.
Level 6 finally here for Forev, but still quite a lot more time needed for Forev to really come online. Needs the Blink Dagger before he's ready to go.
Yeah, if you want to counter what we were talking about though, I think you have to make the aggressive move first and not just wait for Mushi to get online with the Riki.
Okay, so you can't just play really conservatively. Yeah. Is it just because you waste too much time? You spam 5-man too much?
The other option that some teams opt for is they just allow it to happen. They camp their mid laner and hope that just one of their supports gets knocked off.
Yeah.
Because the combination, the Riki Lifestealer, what makes it so strong is you're just never sure what the Riki is. You can't afford to just ward in every side of the jungle, and you can't afford not to go into your jungle. And this is what we're talking about, right? Just ward around this area, or even behind the tower, get aggressive.
Right.
Would have liked to see the Lifestealer down here,
yeah, there it is.
But instead, they're going to bring the Timbersaw.
And they've got MP silenced up with that smoke cloud, and again, the Timbersaw able to make short work of them. Meanwhile, the rest of MVP Phoenix are up here in the top lane. They're going to pull the creep wave and try and push that tower all the faster. For it, Febby is going to be left mid, and there's number 1.
And number
10
2.
minutes in, Mid-1 is correct.
And number 2.
What?
We got both.
Oh, the net worth too.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
I'm going to get 4 for 4 for once. This might be the first time I've ever gotten 2. Mid-1, my boy.
Mid-1 cutting across. He's going to cut down the tree so he can get the chamber chain through to the left-hand side, but still, it's not quite enough with a quick TP out. MP shows himself, will get some damage on to Mid-1, knows he's got a doppelganger to fall back on. The problem is that those illusions, they just do nothing to Mid-1 but give him more HP. Just start stacking up the reactive armor.
He doesn't really care that much, but we talked about it before, how this was going to be Mid-1's game to go insane. So far he's delivered. We're still kind of waiting to see what Forev can accomplish, just because this is a hero that you absolutely need for MVP to start getting aggressive. Like, MVP can't really make any moves. They pretty much just have to allow Fnatic to repeatedly invade like this. They're gonna spawn him here.
DJ, Smoke Cloud does go down, buying him a little bit more time. The sprint is actually on cooldown here. The Tranquil Boots does still give him a lot of movement speed, and with QO cutting across, they should be able to kill TJ. They're going to have to stomp as well, but ooh, maybe there's going to be a turnaround here. Mid-1 comes in, gets a lot of damage on the Slardar, still not enough. QO has his Omni Slash ready to go. Doesn't really want to use it on Mid-1, but he's going to be stuck in a nasty position. Finally use it in order to get away from the Bat Rider, and they actually kill him with amp damage. They turn around, going to go on to Ohio. They have the stuns necessary to beat him to death too. A right click from Dubu is all that's needed to finish him off. 0 for 3 exchanges. Fnatic thinking that they were once again going to be able to come out on top of a small skirmish, but it turns horribly wrong as MVP Phoenix reveal their 4th man.
Yeah, that was very well done by them, and we talked about how the 2 heroes that the game was going to revolve around, it was going to be this Slardar and this Timbersaw. At first it looked like Timber was going to do enough, but that amp damage did so much, and Forev, all of a sudden his game, it was pretty miserable before, but now he's going to get a Blink Dagger at a pretty reasonable timing. Like, anywhere within the next 2 minutes would be good enough.
Oh, nice play there, purging off the dust, and they're pretty overextended. Yeah, there's going to be Ohio. Managed to get the pullback lasso onto QO. The swap goes down. It looks like Dubu's going to have to sack his life, but he goes 3 for 3 for it. Worth, he saves his core, gets a kill in exchange for his own death.
That is very good. They didn't even gain that much gold as a result of that kill. QO getting a little bit too aggressive, but his buddy bailing him out. And now it's going to be Mid-1 that rotates to this bottom lane. And any second now, we're going to see the Blink Dagger on Forev, and we'll probably start to see some of our first rotations. But something I'd really like to talk about is I think Mushi has to hop inside this Riki pretty soon, or you're just
Has he not done it yet?
No, he hasn't.
Wow.
He farmed a Midas first. I'm not 100% sure why. I feel like he's artificially slowing down the pace of his team's game for no reason.
Yeah. It's one thing to wait for the armlet if you're getting it first before you move out as the Lifestealer, but it's something entirely different to go for the Midas first and try and finish the armlet before jumping inside the Rikis
Yeah.
once. It's such a powerful combination.
It is the main reason why you pick it, is that first rotation is going to be so strong.
Dire's
It
middle
forces
tower is
MVP to
under
just
attack.
consistently play back, and you just do it once, and after that, you don't have to do it.
Jump in, get a little damage on QO. In fact, getting a lot of damage, but now he will heal it all back up. And Forev is going to reveal himself with a Blink Dagger. Tries to go for 3-4-3. He doesn't actually have any dust.
Yeah, now they're going to reveal that they have the blink, but Mushi, meanwhile, would like to see him at least think about joining the rest of his team, because I think it's 5, they are a lot stronger.
Get the stun on the mid one, gets the M damage there, but DJ, quick with the response, does manage to get the Fortune's End on mid one, clearing through that amplified damage. DJ is going to have to play a great reactive game here once again. Will be able to get off the ultimate onto mid one, buying him some time. They swap him out, but the Timber Chain still goes through. Looks like he's going to take his fair share of damage. Will actually heal up a little bit. QO, oh, the Vengeful Spirit, the first to go down. Looks like QO is also doomed to fall here. Doesn't have any way of escape. Looks to juke it out, get away from Ohio, bottle up, but that's just, oh my god, spinning. Wand, he's going to go for the TP out. He's actually away, but the Flame Break is just in time. So damn close.
Yeah, and the first time the Lifestealer shows up in the fight, they absolutely dominated, as Mushi is way too strong of a frontliner, and this is exactly what we wanted to see from the get-go. MP opting to just TP to the bottom lane, realizing that fight was going to go great. And MVP just got way too over-aggressive, considering that the Timbersaw is so tanky. He's got 1200 HP, he's got a wand, the Oracle backing him up. It's pretty hard to take down.
Dire's top tower is
Now
under
Mushi
attack.
will
Radiant
push forward
structures
into
are
that mid
fortified.
lane. Gets a small swipe on the tower, forcing out the glyph, backs himself away while the rest of his team is invading the Radiant jungle. Now you see the rest of Fnatic, they're feeling good with their control. They push out mid, they're controlling the bottom lane, and they're even going to make sure their own jungle isn't being exploited by MVP Phoenix.
Yeah. I'd still like to see them execute the Riki combination pretty soon. I still feel like it's really strong for this situation.
Dire's
Like,
middle tower
Mushi just
is
jumps
under
in
attack.
3-4-3 right now, they'd get a kill for sure.
MVP Phoenix setting up to take this tier 1 tower, keeping themselves
Dire's
pretty well
middle
spread
tower has
in
fallen.
case Fnatic get an initiation.
I don't think that mid tower, you had to lose it.
Yeah.
If you're a Fnatic. If they just make their way down there, they can take the fight. Their heroes are so strong right now, but instead, what's going to happen, or what I predict will happen, is that Fnatic are just going to start losing heroes across the map if they don't start 5-manning soon.
Well, fortunately, they will 5-man right now. They're going to go for a 4-man smoke with 3-4-3 leading the way on his invisible Riki. A Lifestealer surprise inside. Now, they're going to go bottom lane where MP was just farming up, but MP, a lot of heroes off map. Maybe that tipped him off. He's going to TP up to the top lane, join the rest of his teammates.
They know they're in their jungle right now. If nobody pushes out this top wave and nobody's pressuring in mid, despite the fact that Fnatic know they're stronger, then you know they're in your jungle 100%. And this is around the timing that they either go for Roshan,
Dire's
or
top tower
they're going to
is
straight up
under
push the mid
attack.
tower. And right now, they're going to show that they're pushing mid. But this trade isn't worth it. This is a trade worthy if, for example, Cap, you take Roshan off of it. Because this would be a free Rosh right now for Fnatic.
Yeah. They're going to try and make it a little bit more of a 2-for-1 by taking that mid tower and pressuring bottom.
I don't think
But
MVP want to give this tower up.
yeah, certainly not.
Radiant's middle tower is
So
under
It's going to be
attack.
hard though,
will-
because they have no vision.
They'll start running themselves down instead of just TPing out. Looks like Frev, part of the problem there, he doesn't actually have a TP, so he has to sprint his way across the
Febby
map.
is so dead. They can probably grab him if they're fast.
Febby or Ohio? Yeah, I was about to say Febby or Forev. One of those two was going to get picked off. It looked like Ohio wanted to go for Forev, but they will try and grab Febby now. Managed to get the lasso. There's the stun in response, but Forev, he just put himself the firehouse there unnecessarily. Couldn't save his support and gives up his own life.
Yeah, and MP has to get out now. They're pinging him like crazy. They might just actually wrap the angle around so he has nowhere to go.
Doppelgang, Chakram right over him, bouncing back into that smoke screen. They do manage to get the swamp in though, and that will probably mean Dubu is going to lose his life for that save. Still though, Fnatic going to be pretty happy with getting an extra pick off and taking this tier 2.
Yeah, that just felt like an unnecessary trade
Radiant
by
structures are
MVP.
fortified.
It wasn't even a trade because they didn't gain anything off of it.
Right.
MP had to have known that they were making their way down, but he stayed to farm the last 2 creeps, and Newbee's going to pay for that one. And in terms of going into their jungle, they know that they verified that Fnatic were in their jungle because nobody pushed out this top wave. And once they left mid, they started going downwards. So they should have been able to predict that movement, but I think MVP are just playing much more sloppy than we're used to seeing them.
In hindsight, a lot easier to call, but in hindsight, do you think that because they didn't have vision, should they have tried to contest that tier 2 bottom lane push at all, or do you think they should have committed for that 5-man top?
I think you can send the ET right here, just have the Venge sit behind him,
right?
And then PL probably farms out this camp, these 2 jungle camps, which Fnatic, by the way, were prepared for. Then probably Jug just farms these 2 camps, and you're perfectly okay.
Yeah.
In this game.
So you just stall as the Elder Titan while your 2 cores farm up jungles.
They have no vision in their own jungle right there. They're pretty much just fighting blind and allowing Fnatic to find free pickoffs there. That's not something I'm used to seeing MVP do, just because they are inherently at their core just a 5-man team.
Yeah. Well, a Black Dragon now for our Lifestealer, as he's picked up his level 11. And that Midas will start putting in some serious work now. All his roaming around inside the Lifestealer, or inside the Riki, or inside in this case, a Black Dragon, he's not going to actually lose that much farm efficiency thanks to that early item pickup. So it slowed down his timing, but it is giving him a lot more space.
Oh, this is pretty significant.
First
rush of the game.
Fnatic.
They should know about this because of the ward.
Oh, nice. They're actually going to go for the Elder Titan Spirit TP as well. So they actually managed to smoke all these heroes in.
Because they placed this ward up here, though, I think they just got spotted.
Yeah. I think so too, but is Fnatic going to be able to get there in time? They're all smoked up. Mid-1, he's going to need to make the initiation. The Black Dragon's already down. They see how low Roshan is. They're going to pop out, try and get their stun. No, it's not enough. QO managed to pick up the Aegis, and MVP Phoenix still pretty well spread for this fight. QO inside of the Chakram, trying to finish off 3-4-3. Can't actually get him. The swap over. QO dies on top of the cliff, and they're actually going to leave him there. He doesn't really have a way out. Meanwhile, Febby does manage to hit the stun there. QO bounces down thanks to the Omni Slash, but out of the fire into the pit. Oh no, they've actually managed to pick up the kill onto the Oracle. QO, he's almost the last one alive here for MVP Phoenix, and he's just going to get dumped on here on the side chop. No way out for him. Forev, he speeds around, but Fnatic, ultimately, they win that fight even if they didn't manage to claim that Aegis.
That was one of the worst scenarios that you could have, especially since QO just got swapped on top of that cliff by that Venge. I'm pretty sure that put him into a lose situation where either, he tries to spin TP out, but the Batrider just picks him up, or he tries to Omni Slash his way down, and now he's committed the only spell that really threatens Fnatic whatsoever in the team fight.
Yeah.
That... Ooh.
And Mid-1 has 18 Bloodstone charges.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Mushi's also got his Maelstrom now too, so that's going to be the item of choice for him to deal with his Phantom Lancer when it comes to the late game. MP's kind of strong right now, though. He still has 8.8k net worth, not even 1k behind the Midas Lifestealer. So I still think Fnatic, though, they should continue to put on this pressure. Net
worth-wise, it looked like MVP Phoenix was kind of keeping it close, but this last dip is a serious one. Almost 5k and over 5k experience going the way of Fnatic.
Yeah.
As you said, got to keep up the pressure, though.
Like, he is going to go to shooters, by the way, first on this Timbersaw. Absolutely has to.
This Phantom Lancer is hardcore countered for the mid game. MVP Phoenix got to stretch this well into late game where you've got like Heart on PL.
I think they need... I'm trying to think right now. I'm pretty sure this PL, once he gets his 4th item, he's probably strong enough to fight this Timber.
Yeah.
But up until that point, MP pretty much just has to farm. Just because the secondary core on MVP, the Juggernaut, has been shut down so hard. It is pretty impressive, though, that Forev has managed to keep up the net worth relative to the other offlaner, considering they've just lost like 4 fights.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Mid-1, almost getting caught there by Forev, who's sprinting his way up. Not fast enough, though. Meanwhile, 3-4-3 will actually scout out QO. They're going to try this with Mid-1 in the smoke screen, but yeah, no. They're actually not going to try for it. They probably figured the Juggernaut. There's no way the Juggernaut's alone, so they're just going to continue to push out this wave and go for the tier 2 and force MVP Phoenix back. Because there's no opportunity for a trade-off, not at top lane at least.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So this Riki has an Ogre Club. Not really sure where he's going to progress off of that.
Huh.
343 has a Dragonlance. That can't be the build. Wouldn't a Diffusal Blade be more effective?
What? Is he going? Is there some specific reason he needs Hurricane Pike?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's
It's good
to say
stats.
the least. That is true.
I do think 4-staff or Yules would have been better though.
Yeah.
Alright, so they're gonna invade. MVP have to get out. There's no way they should take this fight. Just ditch Dubu. Dubu's dead.
Dubu is very dead.
Dubu lived a strong life.
MP, he may be dead as well. He's actually slowed up and bounced back into the smoke screen by the Flame Break of Ohio. The right-hand side, though, they're going to try and catch DJ as well as Midwan. Midwan is going to take a serious amount of healing. Looks like he should be okay. While MVP Phoenix, they're going to be run down here. The Chakram onto Forev. That's going to be a third kill going the way of Fnatic. They did not abandon Dubu like they should have.
Pretty sure Fnatic right now, they can win within the next 10 minutes. Pretty easily, actually. I don't see a way where MVP can contest this lineup anymore.
Yep.
They don't deal enough damage. If they all in on any hero, then the Oracle just pops his heal. That pretty much just ignores the fact that Mushi is ripping them to shreds. And
He's going Lotus Orb instead to get rid of the Amputator.
Yeah.
Radiant's
Okay, that
middle
works too.
tower
Yeah.
has fallen.
I was with you on the Shivas, though.
I'm
So
still with
good
it.
versus PL.
Yeah. Shiva's absolutely destroys.
And we're right in another one, Blitz. 3 out of 4. Congratulations, buddy. You did it.
We're all in on the mid one train.
Mid one.
I mean, just looking at this lineup, I thought Fnatic was going to be incredibly successful. They haven't even had to really utilize their Lifestealer at all. This Lifestealer has been in 4 out of their 16 kills. And he probably hasn't even been necessary for very many of them just because of how much work the rest of them are doing right now. Like, mid one is definitely gone off in this game.
How much damage has he done? 13,500 magic or pure damage.
That is quite a lot.
Yeah. It's just a little bit.
I'd like to see them take some initiative, though. They're probably waiting for the next Roshan. But I think after you get the Aegis, you start making your moves. It's not items that really depend on the game anymore for Fnatic.
The SNY up for the Lifestealer now. All right, looks like we are going to heading towards a Diffusal Blade for 3-4-3.
Alright. I would have... They're really far ahead in this game, so it probably doesn't matter that much, but...
Is he going to break apart the Dragonlance, get an SNY or something?
Please, people. I'm sure Diffusal Blade's more effective. Although the stats... Yeah, I mean, for value.
Yeah.
Ricky doesn't really need hint. If he has a Diffusal, though, he can pretty much just solo kill the Avenger, the ET.
MVP Phoenix need to buy themselves a lot of time, and we are reaching Fnatic's peak point of power. They've got Lifestealer and a Timbersaw, incredibly farmed, sitting at 12 and 13,000 net worth respectively. They're going to have an Aegis, which should go into their hands, considering how far ahead they are. And from there, high ground potential looks like a walk in the park for them. But MVP Phoenix, known to be a team that are always able to make a team fight work, no matter how far behind they are.
Yeah, they try to make the move on the mid one, but unable to do so. And he's still going to go for the Shivas.
Double armored up.
Why not?
You've only got physical damage to deal with, so...
Might as well.
Indeed, indeed.
Dire's bottom tower
Helps deal with
is
that
under
pesky
attack.
natural order from
Dire's structures
Elder Titan.
are fortified.
With all that bonus armor you're giving yourself.
Still in a decent position. But I think next Roche fight's going to determine a lot. I don't think MVP can
Dire's
really
bottom
afford to give
tower
up
is under
an
attack.
Aegis to Fnatic.
Yeah.
After that point, killing the Lifestealer or the Timbersaw twice is going to be way too hard, and at bottom, they've got to full on retreat.
Ooh, Flame Break catches Dubu. That'll be one.
They'd really like to get more.
Looks like everyone else will easily get out.
Yeah.
Unless Febby. Almost. They were pretty close to actually catching him. Things are on a bit of an edge for MVP Phoenix. These pickoffs, they're small, they don't mean too much, but it does further the tempo control for Fnatic. They've got really good map control at this point. Mid's pushing in, bottom as well. You don't see really hardly any MVP Phoenix heroes up in that northern side of the map, so that is just missed opportunities to farm. They're just being corralled deeper and deeper inside their own base, and inevitably this means Roshan control will go the way of Fnatic. QO. Bouncing across, looks like Mid-1 did manage to scout him out. Now, of course, he's got the spin TP away, so this really shouldn't be a problem. QO, I think, was just hoping to be able to spin on one more creep wave, but that was risky. Ohio does have a Boots of Travel as well as a Blink Dagger, so he could be anywhere at any time. Roshan time. Looks like MVP Phoenix may try and check out Roche while they give up tier 2 tower at the top lane. That's not a bad idea. Unfortunately for them, they're going to look inside the pit, see that it's not there. It's up in 5 more seconds, but they're going to start TPing in.
That would have been a pretty decent all-in attempt.
Yeah.
But now everybody from Fnatic is showing up.
Yeah, they actually got the correct scan, and Roshan has showed up to the party, but Fnatic, they're already here in force to protect and keep that Aegis in their hands.
Yeah. I think Fnatic just walk into the Roche pit, take Aegis. They can even fight MVP.
Stun on Ohio, they're gonna leave things off, but oh, they actually get the first tap to the side. Brett will live through all that. Meanwhile, the ult comes in from the other Titans, taking out a lot of damage. Ohio may actually end up going down eventually. 3-4-3, bouncing over to Ferret. The stun goes down first. Meanwhile, amplified damage onto Mushi. They will get him. They take him down, and MP still running forward. He's looking for the kill on Ohio, but has to stay one step ahead of Mid-1, which he will for now. 3 down on the side of Fnatic. They've got the amplified damage. They have the physical damage too to take Roshan, but do they have a way to deal with Mid-1? It doesn't look like they can actually do it. Mid-1, he would just tear them a new one if they went inside that Roshan pit with constant chakram spams.
Man, 12k ahead, and they still lose a team fight. That's
MVP magic right there.
Not really sure how they did that, but Fnatic, they're going to set up at top, and they're going to make the move on MP.
Ooh. Doppelganger away, will be able to run him down. Mid-1 should be able to collect yet another bounty here. 21 Bloodstone charges.
Yeah. Yay! Our strategy of only picking Mid-1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be a successful one. Oh, I like how it keeps the damage for all the periods of time.
Yeah. There's absolutely no way
Bing.
he's being overtaken now.
Bing.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Unless
so
this game goes 90... Yeah, actually, no way.
There's no way.
There's no magic damage to there that could ever deal enough.
Yes. The only one that possibly could would be maybe if Mushi hits so many heroes with his Maelstrom.
Just Mjolnired out.
Yeah, I mean, the only person that can really challenge him would be DJ.
DJ... If this is a really fast game, I think Ohio. For the magic damage you're able to output.
Even then, though, to heroes, it'd be hard.
Yeah.
I feel like this one was one of the more easy.
It was a gimme.
This was a gimme.
Valve were feeling bad about all Blitz's mispredictions.
This was
on stream as well.
If you did not guess Mid-1 4 times in a row for all of these, you were a fool.
They're like, guys, Valve's sitting there back there in production. They're like, man, our analyst looks like an idiot when he goes through these predictions. Let's give him an easy one.
They gave it to us as Fnatic. Now they're going to finish the Roshan. I think they put it on Mushi and they start their assaults. Maybe they wait for... No, they have the Shivas and an Arcane Rune, which is probably one of the better chances you're going to get. Maybe you take a fight in your own jungle first.
They are circling that jungle quite heavily. They probably just don't want to give MVP Phoenix the chance to push out that top lane and, you know, who knows? Some sort of shenanigans happens and you end up trading racks for racks.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary. So corral the lanes first, keep the push high ground a little bit later. Which means we will have a small waiting period. So Blitz Dota, walk me through the team fight that needs to happen at MVP Phoenix's high ground. How do they hold against Fnatic with a 12,000 gold lead, a gigantic Timbersaw and Aegis?
If they can kill the Oracle first, all their 4-steps might pay off here.
Okay.
Like, they need like 3 4-steps. If they have 3 4-steps, I think they can win a fight.
So kill Oracle and kite.
Yes.
Okay.
You pretty much just have to wait for Oracle to die first, or for the Oracle to put his false promise on the hero that doesn't extend the fight. Like them forcing the false promise onto the Batrider was probably best case scenario for MVP, as then it allowed them to just play the run around Lifestealer game, which they were very good at.
Maybe a pickoff? No, never. That's that's never a pickoff. I saw 2 heroes near this, light blue player, and I was like,
oh, I mean, QO thought about it.
Yeah.
For some period.
And then you realize I'm an idiot. That guy is a gigantic take.
Yeah, but that illusion just juked the shit out of him.
Run around in a Centaur Conqueror. Mushi ready to pop out at a moment's notice and go to the tier 3 tower.
Man, that would have been next level if you waited there for maybe like 3 minutes inside that, making MVP think it's just this lone creep. Then everybody
filling this camp here.
So then everybody boots and travels on top of that creep at once. Like you Centaur Stomp.
When a hero goes to farm it, you Centaur Stomp.
Yep.
Oh, stun in. Mushi. Oh my god, he's dropping so quickly with the amp damage. They almost got him, but he's still out of the Aegis. Now the Omni Slash bouncing around, not able to finish off any one hero, while the Vengeful Spirit is already gone down. Mushi already back up to half HP. Bevy's gonna hit the stomp onto mid one. No Timber Chain out, but he's immediately woken back up by the illusions of the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, it did cost them their false promise though, and they don't have their lasso anymore, but
they don't have Omni Slash, they don't have the damage. And Elder Titan's ultimate, that's probably pretty important as well. Now, Lotus Orb bounces back the amplified damage onto Brev. Not that he cares, it's more important to keep that amp damage on mid one, threatening him as best as possible. Mushi dropping lower and lower. Again, doesn't care too much. He's got an Aegis. And they just need damage on objectives. Now, the Vengeful Spirit's about to come back up. It looks like they caught mid one here with the Yule Scepter into the Stomp. Waiting. Will just throw a Lance. Try and burn a little bit of mana, get a little damage, but not much else. So Fnatic do back out. Why is that? I mean, Omni Slash is still down. I know False Promise was important, but it's back up now. Surely the Vengeful Spirit doesn't change that much.
I think it's more just they're starting to learn that their high ground potential has been very good. You don't want to just send that Lifestealer up there. There is a scenario where if the Lifestealer gets low enough with that Aegis, they can just assault the backline, then just kill him twice by himself.
Right.
Because they can kite him pretty hard. Their PL can just keep throwing lances like he is. Like, this Phantom Lancer is not underfarmed by any means. He's got a heart now. He's in pretty decent battle condition.
Even if your high ground potential isn't that good, can't you just keep chipping at that tier 3 with Mushi's Lifestealer?
You can, but I think the longer you stay in that kind of situation, you're just more liable to lose out.
Okay. Fair enough. Fnatic get the top lane and mid lane pushed in. Bottom is being taken away by QO, but he will have to come back to base now. Fnatic going to make their blink forward. Gonna be stunned up here. No, not much follow-up. They're gonna be able to get a stomp. Thinking about key. Swaps an illusion back. Gotta save that one.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is still a pretty big game for Fnatic. You don't want to ruin the rest of the results, but if they win this, I believe they're still in it.
Smoke screen goes down, flame break, bouncing back a couple of heroes. Fnatic get a little bit of damage, back up, and we'll repeat the process as soon as Rage is ready to go. 1 second, it's up, Rages, takes the tier 3. Now the jump in from mid one, sees an opportunity. BKB is popped by Brev. Now they do manage to hit this stomp on 3 different heroes. Can they follow this one up? It's 2-man crush. Out from Brev, will jump himself away. Riki not quite eliminated. And now the Omni Slash ineffective as it hits those high armor heroes. Looks like mid one not going to be able to make the escape. The stomp hits him. And actually the Lifestealer does indeed fall past the Oracle False Promise. Ohio almost getting caught as well for Rev, just about a half-second shy of being able to catch a 4th hero from Fnatic. All they got was the tier 3 tower. Looks like Dota was completely right. The longer you stick around in that chip scenario, you're more and more liable to run into an opening where MVP Phoenix will take that opening and push it for more.
This is such an odd game because I feel like Fnatic could have won the game like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But they delayed things randomly. They took fights that they didn't have to, and now you're in a position where I can't even believe it, but there's a pretty good chance that MVP can win this game now.
Yep, they just took themselves a tier 2. We're rapidly getting to the point where that Phantom Lancer, oh boy, they're actually going to force this fight now. They managed to get the swap. They still do not have one of their heroes, but it looks like they may still be able to win the fight. Ohio dropping lower, False Promise goes out. Bebby being chased away by 2 different heroes there of Fnatic. So it's going to be 1-for-1 trade-off so far as the Bat Rider actually doesn't drop to the False Promise. Finally, MP is back in play. MVP Phoenix. It wasn't a terrible fight as long as they don't lose anybody else. Tubu hiding in the trees with no TP whatsoever. He's got a smoke, and he might sneak his way out now.
Yeah, he would get spotted by the courier. Otherwise,
he's getting pinged out.
Oh.
Run, Tubu, run!
Poor Tubu. Throw the spite stun, can't even get it off. Buys his 4-staff recipe anyways.
And there's the egg. Man, MVP Phoenix, they just needed to be able to hold on for probably another, like, what would you say, like maybe 5?
The problem
at
was
most
that
10 minutes?
If MP doesn't TP bottom, if MP is going to TP bottom, the rest of his team has to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. I was very surprised that MVP Phoenix stuck around and even...
So he does go the Ags, like we talked about at the beginning of the game, not an item that I typically like to see on Timber, but against Phantom Lancers, you very much like this item.
Just makes sense. MP already using the Doppelganger will actually purge off the sticky napalm. Rev thinking about turning around, does actually crush up mid-one. They're going to come in with the amplified damage. They think they can do this one, but the Omni Slash is disjointed as they manage to get the Timber Chain away. And even if they stuck on him, that really wasn't close at all. Mushi with an invis will run straight into Febby. Poor Febster. Oh, he does get out. Pushes himself over the cliff.
Is this really where you want to be, Mushi?
Mushi's going to be hit by the ultimate here for the Elder Titan. Snaps him back, brings them low. There's the old Oracle save. But for Rev, he's still going to try for this one. They managed to get the infest. He pops back out for the extra HP. Will it be enough? No, it's not. He pops anyway. MP goes for DJ in the backline. Ohio just TP'd in, and he starts running himself away, realizing this is not a good fight whatsoever. MVP Phoenix, they don't want mid one. They want Ohio instead. That's why Perez sprinting forward, hoping to be able to get in range with the blink. He had a second there, but doesn't want to jump ahead, too far ahead of his team. Yeah. So instead, they're just going to get 3-4-3. That'll be a 3rd hero down in exchange for Dubu's Vengeful Spirit.
Still an excellent trade for MVP. They are going to be incredibly satisfied with that. More importantly, their Phantom Lancer, who might be the best hero in this game. That's usually what you're going to go by, is becoming a bulldozer. Like, he has the full Manta style completed now. You see, even with the False Promise, this Lifestealer can't fight.
And he can get the 2nd level of Diffusal Blade, so some really big stat upgrades coming in for MP.
I think this Lifestealer's net worth is really deceptive. Because he has items that he doesn't want to have.
The Midas,
the S and Y isn't even that great here.
He doesn't have those big ticket items, AC, Abyssal Blade.
Exactly. Like, he's going to have to start replacing items soon. That's why I really just don't like Midas very much on Lifestealer. Yeah. I feel like there are better items that you can go, and the Midas does outlive its usefulness. Like, even with the Midas, he's almost behind in net worth to that Phantom Lancer. Just because the PL has been more active in these fights, despite the fact that he's 3, 5, and 4, and Mushi's 3, 3, and 4.
Yeah, it's not important for this hero, right, to maintain a high net worth, because that you're just going to find that through pressure and kills.
Yeah, exactly.
Not through farm.
It's one of those odd scenarios where if you're an MVP, you kind of see those items and you're just like, okay, cool. The downside for MVP, though, is that they only have one real way to burst down the Oracle. So DJ is almost always just going to get that False Promise off.
Yeah.
But
especially when he's got Ether Lens and a Blink Dagger, he can sit super far back.
But it's been okay for them. Like, I don't think MVP cares too much. There is a DD rune right here. Well,
that's pretty nice with Roshan up. But Roshan fights are kind of in Fnatic's wheelhouse. You've got the smoke screen and Chakram. Then you've got, obviously, the Pat Rider really good around the Roshan hit. Oh my god, it just died so quickly. They've already got the Aegis before the initiation happens. Now Dubu put on the clip. He is going to be stuck there, probably dead for sure. Yeah, first damage comes through, but it doesn't really matter too much. It was just in support. That's all the initiation, and now MVP Phoenix can run down whatever heroes they want to. The Omni Slash goes out, will be able to take out the Riki, and Mushi is going to run out of his Rage Timer soon with the amplified damage. He falls rather quickly as well. DJ cleaned up. All that's left is mid-one, but he just cannot output enough damage. Surrounded by 3, no jump forward. They actually try to get Ohio. Oh no, the illusions keep going. Ohio, they have the vision on him, but MP redirects his illusions onto mid-one instead. Misses out on that extra kill, but still, MVP Phoenix easily claiming that fight.
Huh. I think MVP might have done it. Like, looking at the respective items and how strong everybody is, I think MVP might have just won this game. Like, that fight could have gone significantly worse for Fnatic. That Roshan, though, died so quickly. That was
amp
one
damage.
of the fastest times I've ever seen a level 3 Roshan die like that, but man, Fnatic have to be kicking themselves because they had so many different advantages and they just played the pace of the game so slowly.
Take a run forward. 3 heroes, Dual Scepter into the stomp, but that's stopped by the Flame Break. Now, double Trockums, led out. Can't get the squishy hero. They look towards Barrett, but he's already popped his BKB, so mid-one again turns his attention to Bevy, but can't quite catch him as he managed to go down river. MP running out of mana. Can't actually keep mid-one in one place to burn through that plethora of mana and HP he's got.
I don't think this is a situation where you pop cheese. I feel like they just go back and reset. Yeah, MP's just gonna go back. They're happy enough with what they have. He has so much farm right now. He sells his Mask of Death
for a Linken's?
Yeah.
Okay.
If he grabs
that the only way he dies, right? Is he gets lassoed?
If he gets lassoed, because of the heart, and you can always Manta dodge. He can defuse a blade if he gets hit by the open wounds.
Yeah.
Oh man, they absolutely could not afford to lose this game of all games. This one, I think, eliminates them, and right now it's starting to look like it, just because they can't compete anymore. And I feel like they played this game way too passively. I felt like there are multiple opportunities for Fnatic to win this game. In my opinion, I think Mushi's build felt a little bit off to me. I felt like he could have participated in so many more engagements with the Riki. Like, his team created so much space for him, and when you just look at how much people have been able to do with their net worth, this Phantom Lancer has been a terror in these team fights, as Kyo's just going to blink up now.
They are going to be able to get 2 different engagements. Mid-one is going to be the first mid. Meanwhile, we have the Omni Slash onto Mushi. Our Juggernaut is left alone while the rest of the team is focusing on mid-one. And looks like Fnatic want to try and rescue mid-one, but it's not going to be fast enough. The Dual Scepter goes down, stopping the Timber Chain. They off the stomp as well. Finally, they take him down. The big man, mid-one, ends up falling. The Timber Saw is gone. And now it's all in exchange for Dubu's Vengeful Spirit. And perhaps so many heroes of Fnatic are going to fall. They managed to corral one of the heroes into the trees. And DJ will get out. The Lifestealer gets away with a little creep. But MVP Phoenix have the mid and top lane pushing in. They just eliminated 3 heroes right outside of Fnatic space. This could be our first lane of Rex.
Yeah, there's no false promise either. As Febby, they know he's there, but they've got to get back to base. It's more important. The Lifestealer is going to send his creep back, and in 1 second, Timbersaw respawns. He's going to come in, try to push out the waves as hard as he possibly can. And it's probably going to be pretty successful here.
That was super close. QO. He almost loses that Aegis. That would have been a great start for Fnatic. They would have given them hope for taking this, but now they're going to have to deal with full HP. Juggernaut is dealing with going to town. Mushi in some serious trouble. He has the false promise saving him, but I don't think he's going to make it out of here. That's way too much damage, especially with the amp damage going down. Actually, he managed to dodge a little bit. He's still alive, infested up inside of mid-one. So mid-one, being the tank here, is going to try and jump on MP. So looking down with the Sheeps a little bit more. 3-4-3 being gone on by QO. Turns the attention to Ohio instead, while Febby goes down the left-hand side. Finally, Mushi pops out. This time Mushi will go down. Mid-one, slowed down. Swamp actually goes down. All right, with the Lotus Orb. No displacement there. Fnatic have lost their Mushi Lifestealer for good, though. And becomes less and less likely that mid-one can do it a solo.
Yeah. At this point in the game, Man, this... Okay, I believe that Fnatic are probably going to lose 2 sets here. They don't have buyback available, even with the Timbersaw being annoying. You need a secondary core to enable, and mid one, he did so much work in this game, but I don't think he's going to be able to do enough by himself.
Ohio looks for his jump, but instead he is the one jumped on. The slash bounces back to him finally, eliminating him as mid one made his escape to the timber chain to the trees.
At minimum, MVP take 2 sets of racks. Good news for Fnatic is that they won't get mega creeps at the very least. And within 25 seconds, their lifestealer will respawn, but the problem is, once you take 4 sets of racks like this, you get so much gold.
Spotted. Riki gonna be caught here, does manage to get off his ult just ahead of the magic missile, but inevitably he has to come back to the same place. Does quickly get a blink streak out to mid one. He'll escape now. MVP Phoenix not very quick at addressing the issue. Newbee almost killed himself. Magic missile bounce back to him from the Lotus Orb. Finally, they start pinging him out. All right, guys, let's deal with this tier 2 that's slowing us down.
Yeah, this... I think what Fnatic just failed to realize is that this Phantom Lancer is just going to be more effective as the game goes on. And QO now has a monster amount of farm. He was just bound to catch up. They've leapfrogged over this lifestealer. Timbersaw usually thrives on being a full item and a half ahead of most cores, but you notice that he puts out damage, Kyo heals it all back. The decision to go for the heart in conjunction with this healing ward makes MVP's straight up push just so dangerous. And now Brev's gonna make the jump.
Manages to jump forward into the smoke screen though, so won't be able to get out much damage. Fred just stands inside of it with his BKB, has to force himself out. Mushi will heal up the full, starts going to Febby. Stop goes down, not going to be fast enough though to be able to save his own life. MP right in the middle of all this is taking up so much damage, he actually dies, and he's down for 90 seconds without a buyback. MVP Phoenix may lose more. Dubu's going to go down, he drops the gem. Shiva's not quite clipping QO to slow him down. He spins up, but mid one is going to chase him down. He's got a blink dagger. QO also with a blink, stays 1 step ahead until mid one finally catches him with the chakram. The Omni Slash just buying him space. Might be able to get another blink away if he can juke these timber chains. Goes to the right, but 343 is there with a slowdown. Brev actually forced himself into the smoke screen, hoping to be able to get the stun, just to be able to give QO the space. Does blink himself over. Mid one, another blink up for himself in 3 more seconds. Has the Shivas coming in too, but it's not good enough.
Yeah. And Brev manages to survive as well, so everybody gets out. Not scot-free because you lose your Phantom Lancer, but they do take the tier 3, meaning their next push is going to be so much stronger. I think it opens up a bit of an opportunity for Fnatic, but again, in all the games I've seen Fnatic play, the reason why I feel like they're so disappointing is they just don't really feel like a team. It just feels like a bunch of players trying to make individual plays. They need to really learn how to 5-man as a group now and come together.
Not too many items are going to flow in for Fnatic after that team fight. It was just a minor dip downward. They got the BKB for Ohio, but that's certainly not a game-changing item. They're going to need several errors to be made by MVP Phoenix.
I mean, credit to MVP though. They have played very well in these team fights. Like the one thing that MVP might do better than any other team in the world is
Febby tries to jump inside the Roshan pit, actually gets lassoed almost immediately. Now 343 instantly bashed, but there's the Oracle save. That false promise being used though on a support may come back to bite them as MP comes in from the right hand side. Brev is being chased down by Ohio as well as Midwan. Looks like the rest of Fnatic will turn their attention towards this Lardar.
Gets blown up.
That whirling death makes it look pretty damn easy. MVP Phoenix losing yet another team fight will immediately start going for the push out here. They just got to prevent Fnatic from being able to push in these lanes and take a lane of racks for their own, evening out the game a bit.
Yeah, they just aren't gathering this fight right now, and MVP making the same mistake that Fnatic was. Their strength is in numbers at all times. If they try to make an aggressive move like that, I mean, they were hoping that Roshan would be up and maybe catch Fnatic unawares, but Fnatic weren't even really thinking about that quite yet.
Illusion.
I think a lot of this game, I mean, it all just comes down to whatever team fight happens at Roche at this point. Because Fnatic are starting to realize the false promise is not enough to save their cores. The problem is who takes it. Like, I don't think Mushi really wants to drop any of his items. He could drop the armlet, but he needs all the items that he has right now to fight.
Yeah. Well, time to go high ground.
Yeah.
They've won 2 fights in a row.
Radiant's
They
middle
can make it a
barracks are
third.
under attack.
Laner Brax, or maybe so much more, is possible. There is only buyback on MP as well as QO's Juggernaut.
Yeah, they're going to have to jump in first. We haven't really seen that. The Phantom Lancer and the Jug, though, have to be the space creators for this team fight. They're going to have any shot at it, but Fnatic, I believe you disengage, push out bottom lane first, then maybe try to take something at Roshan. That's where your Bat Rider is going to be the strongest by far.
Yeah, we already went over just how many good Roche fighting abilities they have on the side of Fnatic.
Yeah.
Much better than going high ground against MVP Phoenix. They're going to need to set up fast, though. That bottom lane still not pushing out very quickly, and they have the amplified damage with QO. Woo! Chopping Cornwood, man.
That's
QO. That was like, what? Maybe 15 hits over the course of like 4 or 5 seconds?
That was pretty insane. Newbee should grab. Okay, so he does grab the cheese.
All right, smoke up. Rev with the Aegis. They're going to jump on Ohio. He's actually invested inside, but this is not a good place for the Light Stealer to be able to pop out. Immediately goes for Dubu, but the Force Staff over the cliff saves him. Mid-1 will hunt down Dubu instead, but again, it's just a support. They actually swap over. Dubu will keep himself alive, and QO jumps over now to join MP and killing Mushi. Mid-1 against the world once again, as he's going to lose ally after ally. 3-4-3 with a Blink Strike will be able to get himself some space, but inevitably he'll be run down, it seems like. Mid-1. Well, the amplified damage makes it a lot easier for QO to cut through him with the Omni Slash. 3-4-3 is somehow still alive, but
So fast. Yeah. Alright, there is no buyback available on this Lifestealer. Timber's got 7.4k, so he'll buy back, but he's going to have to hold this pretty much solo, as nobody else from his team is available. They do have DJ.
what you gonna do, DJ?
Dire's
You
middle
snipe the
tower
healing ward,
is under
best thing you
attack.
can. Alright, so he heals himself.
Okay. The preemptive regen blitz. The preemptive regen.
Yeah. This is going to be mega creeps. I think MVP are just going to continue to go for it. At this point, they will have realized that the Lifestealer doesn't have buyback.
Surely in mid-1. Caught outside of the fountain.
I think DJ's not even...
Oh, pull back there. Rev will lose his life, but QO, he knows what's up. All of his allies could feed. QO will take the objective. He will end this game number 1 against Fnatic. His allies can do whatever the hell they want. QO makes sure the game is secured. So mid-1, predictions correct across the board, and yet ultimately cannot win the game. MVP Phoenix hold on with their Phantom Lancer and Juggernaut, survive through the rocky period of time where Fnatic were